Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. It's been a while since we last did a ReaperCast video, but I figure we might as well do one for a change of pace, and also there was a lot to talk about. But I'm just gonna get started right away because we have really exciting news. So the first thing I wanted to talk about here is that we are getting 2 reprints in the Cyber Style structure deck, and that would be in the form of Lightning Storm and Infinite Impermanence. Now this is definitely going to be really amazing because both cards are definitely quite pricey cards, and you might argue that Impermanence is not as pricey anymore, but I still believe that buying yourself a playset of those would definitely still cost quite a bit of money, so to see that it's a bit more accessible in a structure deck would definitely be wonderful. But of course, having Lightning Storm being a $100 card be reprinted in a structure deck, that would be absolutely amazing. Of course, we have had in the past certain cards that are really good that came out in the OCG structure deck, but then when it came to the TCG structure deck, we didn't get it at all. So this would be an example such as Evenly Matched. We expected this in one of the previous structure decks, but it only came out in the OCG and never in the TCG. Definitely very unfortunate that we never got Evenly Matched in the TCG structure deck, but you know, with that being said, it does actually put a certain concern as to whether or not both of these cards will actually come in the TCG or not. Now, I do believe that if one of these cards, well, if any cards were to be switched out, I would only think that one of these cards would be switched out. So what I mean by this is, I doubt that Lightning Storm and Infinite Impermanence would both be switched out for the TCG side of things. I think that if one of them had to be switched out, it would only be one of them, because doing both would definitely be quite an eye-opener. A lot of people would definitely be a bit reluctant, and we might even rebel and not buy the structure deck at all. So in order to keep the customers happy to a certain standard, I do think that at least one of these cards will definitely be coming to the TCG. Now I do have a prediction that the Infinite Impermanence is the one likely to come to TCG because it is much cheaper, and I believe that Lightning Storm would be a card where Konami would want us to still be interested to buy their actual products just to pull the card. So because of that, I think more so as a business standpoint, Lightning Storm will stay only in the OCG, whereas we are likely to get Impermanence in the TCG. But with that being said, it could be the other way around, and that would definitely be fantastic of course, but even so, it's really hard to predict. Definitely let me know what you guys actually think about this. However, moving on here, we are getting a V-Jump promo, and it is called Harpys Pet Dragon Fearsome Fire Blast. This is definitely going to be very interesting of course, because to see Harpy supports actually come out of nowhere was definitely very much so an eye-opener for me. So this is a level 7 Wind Dragon effect monster with 2000 attack and 2500 defense. The first and third effects can only be used once per turn each. First effect, if you control a level 6 or lower wind monster, you could special summon this card from your hand in defense position. Second effect, monsters cannot target level 6 or lower Harpy monsters for attacks. Definitely very nice for a bit of added protection. Third effect, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you could send one winged beast monster from your deck to the graveyard. Kind of like setting yourself up for some plays, because certain harpies do actually activate in the graveyard, such as Harpist for example. But I do actually like this particular card. It definitely works really well here and is kind of like an extender with a bit of some small gimmicks to help extend the deck just a bit. It's not a really crucial card that makes it overly broken, but I definitely think that it is something that Harpies definitely deserve. But moving on here, we have some new cards also announced for the Legendary Monsters pack. So there are 3 new monsters, and they are pretty much from the OG series, but have actual remakes of them, so I'm definitely very excited about this. The first card we have here is Mystical Elf, Mystical Burst Stream. This is a level 4 light spellcast effect monster, and it has 800 attack and 2000 defense, very much akin to the original version. However, the first and second effects can only be used once per turn each. First effect, when a monster your opponent controls activates its effect and you control a level 5 or higher normal monster, as a quick effect you could special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that effect. I already like this card because it's so generic for this first effect alone. It's a free negate for any kind of level 5 or higher normal deck, and that would be fantastic because we have Pendulum decks that do that, we have Dark Magician decks that do that, we have even Blue Eyes decks that does that, so I definitely love this card already. However, second effect, during your opponent's battle phase, as a quick effect, you could target one normal monster in either graveyard, special summon it, and if you do while you control it, monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. Definitely very unique, but it might help out with an OTK kind of standpoint. So I think this card is designed to have both attack and defense capabilities, which is definitely quite nice. But moving on here, we also have a remake of Kassir Glider Golden Burst, a level 6 light dragon effect monster, 2400 attack, 2200 defense, and the first effect can only be used once per turn. First effect, quick effect, you could tribute one monster, special summon this card from your hand. Definitely very easy to bring out, so that's already looking really good. And I think this is already going to work in any deck that wants to go for rank 6 XC summons. I'm already thinking maybe vampires, or perhaps even cyber angels. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you could target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card's attack becomes equal to that monster's until the end of this turn. Definitely very nice because these days you have a lot of big boss monsters that also have all of these negates, so bringing out here the Kassir Glider can definitely work out to your favor because it's easy to get over a big monster that your opponent has, but at the same time you could also just force your opponent to negate you because if they don't negate, then you're pretty much going to beat over their strongest monster. So I do like what this card can actually do. And finally, we have here Guiltier, the D-Knight Soul Spear, a level 5 light warrior effect monster, 1850 attack and 1500 defense. And the third effect can only be used once per turn. First effect, if you control no monsters, you could special summon this card without tributing. Second effect, when this card is normal summoned, you could banish one monster your opponent controls with higher attack than or equal to this card's. Definitely already really nice, forcing your opponent to either negate or you take away one of their monsters. Third effect, you could discard one card, add one level 7 Dark Dragon monster, one level 6 Dark Machine monster, or one level 5 Water Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. This is definitely very nice because it's already hinting towards playing this card in either Red Eyes, Genzo, or Legendary Ocean. And I think that's definitely very interesting because you have Red Eyes, which is a level 7 Dark Dragon monster, you have Genzo, a level 6 Dark Machine monster, and then you have the Legendary Fisherman, which is a level 5 Water Warrior monster. I definitely really like that this card actually has that kind of flexibility and allows for you to actually make quite a few different plays if you potentially need to. In fact, that particular effect is actually a search effect, so if anything, it turns itself into an upstart goblin, but even better for those particular decks that you might be playing. So because I'm actually trying to build Genzo, it might actually be an interesting choice to actually hunt down this card when it actually comes out. However, with that being said, these were all the cards. Definitely very exciting to see some remakes, definitely very interesting to see some reprints, and also really fun to see a brand new card actually being introduced as well. But with that being said, tell me what you guys actually thought about this. Are you excited? Do any of these effects actually tickle your fancy? However, with that being said, definitely drop a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.